Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth1204 for another mission video, or really the first mission video, but still. Last time on the regular videos we unlocked a bunch of quests, and today we're going to be going over the missions. In the future, these mission videos are going to be pretty much entirely post-commentated and sped up, but today we're going to start off not post-commentated so I can actually go over the basics of how everything works here on a regular mission video. So let's start with mission 121, Peacekeeping Troops, Challenge from Security. This was unlocked by talking to that guy in the Loveless Avenue, the soldier. Members of the security department have requested a joint training session with the soldier. Some of them seem to regard soldier with a passionate sense of rivalry. It's only a training session, but don't take it lightly. So the reward there is a Shinra Alpha. As you can see, there are 2 chests. The original game did not tell you how many chests there are, which is very mean, but we'll see what exactly that means right now. So when you start off, you're put in a map here. None of the maps are random. Each mission has a set map with set areas. Every map has a endpoint with a boss enemy that you have to kill in order to finish the map. On the way, there are a certain number of treasures, enemy encounters in the rooms, things like that. If you want to avoid the enemy encounters in general, just stick to the walls like I talked about before. In order to have the mission marked as complete, you just need to beat the boss enemy. You don't need to get all the treasures, but it's good to. You can redo any mission you want, as many times as you want. The treasures don't refill, but if you miss anything, you can come back and get them. There's nothing in this room. So, yeah, the missions used to be a lot more difficult in that if you were to die, it would just kick you out of the mission and you'd have to restart it. The regular game mechanics still apply of you right now of you being able to retry it if you want to. There's a treasure. But yeah, for the most part, you're just going to want to hug all the walls until you find all the treasures and then get yourself over to the boss. It's usually kind of obvious where everything is at any given point, you know, depending on the layout. But for the most part, you really don't need to fight the enemies. There's certain areas where you're going to want to fight the enemies, but not here. For now, let's just fight this guy. As you can see, I have the little feather on my head. That's because we got the raise status from that cool, what's it called? Got the raise status from that drink. There we go. The drink in the lobby, which once again, it's good to just every time you lose that to just go back and get it. These guys are weak to fire. We don't have fire, but I was trying out my new Blizzard Blade and it worked out pretty well, I think.
I admit that you bested us in today's training.
Not all missions have text afterward, or people talking or anything, but you know, the ones that are more centric to a side quest do have that.
But the troops that participated in the exercise are amateurs. Many of them have never seen real combat. Don't expect the same results next time.
Okay, well, Shinra Alpha obtained. And then it boots you out to the menu. A new mission has been added. So a lot of the side quests have multiple missions attached to them. In this case, we're going to probably have to go through all 6 of these. So for those, I guess I'm going to, you know, end the live commentary. Let me just see. Let's see. Another thing that you can do is L3. You can sort. This is new, obviously. You can do available all, new only, uncleared only, or unopened chests only, which is really nice if you want to like actually find the missions that you need to do. Let's see, anything else really? Not that much. But yeah, the missions, like I said before, are really an integral part of completion for the game. They take about as long to finish as the main game does, and I didn't read what that said. I'm sorry. I'll read it on the way out. They provide you with a lot of good items, a lot of really broken items, and I don't know. I just like doing them. 90% of them I would classify as pretty easy. Like, you really just have to go in and not do too much after that. Yeah, these little dudes are weak to thunder. And since you're going to be healing after each round, after each mission, you may as well just use everything in your arsenal.
Damn. Another loss to soap. Next time we won't hold back. You've taken advantage of the sportsmanship we've shown.
You're going to get mostly junk items, I would say.
Session, I guarantee, will be a day of shame for soldiers.
This guy needs to chill. Yeah, you're going to be getting mostly junk items, but there's some really, really, really good game-breaking, amazing things for you to get. So yeah, I will, well, let's just read this. Members of the security department have requested another joint training session with Soldier. They have robots to support them this time. Proceed with caution. And the one we're about to do, members of the security department have requested yet another joint training session with Soldier. A statement from them reads, "We were holding back in previous sessions. They're desperate and may do anything to save face. Be careful." So from this point onward, I'm just going to speed up the missions because there's really not much to show. I'll show the locations of all the treasure chests. I'll show the boss fights. And I'll read all the things over here. But aside from that, from this point onward, it's all going to be post-commentated. So yeah, I'll see you in future Dovey time. Alright, it's future Dovey time. So a few things that I actually didn't talk about in the live commentary because I was distracted by actually playing the game. The mission system actually had a really big overhaul in general, aside from the difficulty or the difficulty monitor, the sorting and things like that. Conflict resolved.
Yes, we have yet to win against you in training, but I know the reason why. It's the budget disparity between Soldier and security. I hear the science department performs enhancement procedures on you.
Yeah?
We in security don't depend on medical enhancements.
I don't remember getting any enhancements anyway. We get 4 slots, which is a neat accessory. But yeah, there was an overhaul to the treasures. A lot of the treasures that we... let's see, where's 4 slots? Vitality and Spirit plus 5. Nice. A lot of the treasures that were in the original were either moved to be more accessible. What do we have here? Getting serious. The persistent members of the security department have sent Soldier another challenge to a joint training session. Making excuses, they claim the difference in budget between the departments to be the reason for their losses. Go show them exactly why we are combat experts. So yeah, 2 treasures over there. I really like that it tells you how many treasures there are. So they moved a lot of the treasure locations. They changed some of the rewards. They changed some of the treasures just to make them better. Because there was a lot of junk in the original game. There's still a lot of junk in this game. I actually feel like I use the systems less in this game. But that's because you get ways to make it better. But yeah, I accidentally got into a battle over here. The system in general is nicer though. It doesn't show everything on the map. Yeah, I missed this somehow. Went right past it. But it's just streamlined a little bit more from what it was, and I appreciate that. So we got 4 court rolls here. I'm just gonna zap them all to death. The last one will just unlock to death.
Our budget negotiations have borne fruit. Director Heidegger has authorized us to test new weapons in combat. There is no way we will lose to you now.
And for this, we get Force Bracelet, which is another accessory. You're going to be hearing combat resolved a lot. Armed challenge. Members of the security department have sent Soldier yet another challenge to a joint training session. It seems they have succeeded in securing funds and have new weapons at their disposal. We and Soldier never blame the loss on the budget. Win the session and teach them the meaning of dignity. Get an ice omelet for that. Okay, so I appreciate like the varied areas, although it does start repeating a lot later. You have to go all the way around on this map in order to get all the treasures, and then go all the way back. But I just kind of find it funny that a lot of these areas are places we just have not been to yet in the story. There's a lot of, technically, a lot of, these sweepers can really get you if you don't pay attention. They're weak to thunder, which is good. Don't get hit by the silence. What did I say? There's a lot of missions that you can get to off the bat. I eventually have to stop.
Even with new weapons, we still couldn't win. What are we lacking? What is it? Very well. The next session is our last. We'll settle all scores then. If we lose again, I will concede that Midgar needs Soldier more than us.
Alright, well, one more for them. Ice Omelet. I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna interrupt myself. This next mission coming up, I actually tried doing it at this point of the missions and got my head handed to me. Last challenge. Members of the security department on a losing streak have yet again challenged soldiers to a joint training session. They have used up their entire budget on this one. We know we've had too many of these, but this is sure to be the last. Savor it for what it is. I remembered what I was going to say. Yeah, so the footage over here, I decided to just keep it in for the sake of having everything in order. But this guy is really tough, and I had to... This was actually the last thing I did in the recording session here. As you can see, I'm a little bit stronger than I was. I have a fire Materia. Yeah, you might have to come back to this guy, because he actually is pretty tough, especially... See, I died there. Especially in... I just decided to run away. Especially in hard mode. He has a lot of health. I also missed a chest. But yeah, this guy over here is a boss we haven't fought yet. The Arachno. He has 28,000. I have the Libra Materia on also, so it shows how much health he has. Spiderweb, excuse me, Spiderweb will stop you, and he usually goes in for a big hit after that. If you hit him from behind, it's, you get criticals. When he does the spiderweb attack, the back becomes the front, so you have to go to the front and start hitting him, and then he starts turning around again. If you're playing on hard, getting hit by his swipe attack is pretty much an insta-kill, and the same with getting hit by his Shinra type 100 cannon over there, which he starts using after he goes down to half health. But yeah, I tried like 3 or 4 times to kill this guy, and it was just slow going where I was before, but like one mistake and you're dead type of thing, and it was like 10-15 minutes of trying, so I decided not to. Also, cleared the last challenge, report to unit captain and Loveless. Yeah, we don't get a dialogue there because we finished the side quest missions. Also, spoilers, I get to 10% over there. Search for Wutai Remnants? No, right. What was I doing in here? Items in the plains. I think those were the ones that I decided not to do. So I was just kind of looking at the stuff over here. I don't know why editing Dovey kept this in, but it is what it is. Just want to show you some of the cool stuff that I got over here, like the circlet, the muscle belt. Here's the spoilers for later in this episode. So what I was saying before is that I essentially did all the missions here until I reached a boss that I just could not beat. Like, he had a special attack that I couldn't get through because I was just too underleveled. So it might be possible to do him on easy, but we'll see. Also in that regard, I've made the executive decision this is back to sequential footage. Pursue the remnants. Wutai units found. We have spotted a detached Wutai army unit on the outskirts of Wutai. We want to prevent any further incidents from them in an already chaotic political environment. Vanquish them before they make a move. I've decided to make the executive decision to play the missions on easy mode for my own sanity. When I was playing through this game through Reunion, and this is actually, I guess, the first one you're supposed to do because you get a little tutorial thingy here that tells you what a mission is. When I was playing, I played through Reunion on my own already, and I played through it on hard, except for the very, very final mission, because that's ridiculous. But there really isn't there's no real reason to do it aside from a challenge. We got an elixir out of that. Hooray. Like, you really don't get anything out of it, and excuse me. Yeah, I went over here to try to get I'm sorry. A detached Wutai forces trained monsters to specifically fight soldier operatives, defeat the anti-soldier creatures, and eliminate the remnants. I went into the lobby here to get the raise. I'm sorry I keep interrupting myself. But yeah, I don't find any value in playing these on hard when you're just gonna die and die and die and die and die. Like, I find it to be a little bit too frustrating to turn all the bosses into damage sponge by giving them like 3 or 4 times the amount of health that they already have. Like, for instance, the final mission has a super boss, right? And in the original version of the game, he has 10 million health, which is an obscene amount of health, and it already takes like 15 minutes to kill the boss if you are doing max damage. What do we got here? Bulletproof vest. So, like, it's a lot. It's a big challenge. But if you play it on hard, not only does it have a better moveset, but it has 77,777,777 health. Pursue the deserters. Fort Tamlin has fallen. Many of the fighters have escaped. They refuse to disarm and attempt to maintain the resistance. Allowing this to continue only sow chaos. Swift elimination is in order. Yeah, some of these I accidentally clicked through because I'm not reading it. We got 3 chests over here. So, yeah, I don't want to do the missions on hard mode because it just takes a lot of my time, and it's not informative for the viewer. So I don't really think that, like, I don't need to prove to myself that I did it because I did it already. I don't feel like I need to prove it to the viewer either. These guys are really annoying, but they're weak to ice, which is very nice. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be playing it on normal mode for the missions, and I'll make a decision as we go through the game on the regular stuff. These guys could be really annoying if you don't watch. They can just go right up to you and stab you and do a lot of damage, and it adds up. The sergeants don't get stunned, so you have to be careful. Don't get stunned by your combo, I mean. Level up cure. But yeah, it's just not worth it in my opinion. If you want to watch the completionist video on it, he also gives a breakdown on why hard mode is not worth it. Libra obtained, hooray. Libra is neat but less useful in this version of the game. It used to show you a lot of stuff like the status that the enemies had, and now we already know that. Wutai remnants in the slums. The escaped Wutai troopers hiding in the slums of Midgar seem to have joined with anti-Shinra element based in the slums, planning a strike against the Shinra building. Must eliminate them before they have a chance to make their move. Yeah, this is a very small map. A lot of these missions, early missions, are just very small maps. What was I saying? Yeah, the completionist has like a breakdown on why it's just not worth it at all. The only reason for you to do hard mode is for that trophy for finishing or beating the final boss on hard, but you can change the difficulty right before you go in, so it's really not worth it to stay in hard mode. If you really want the challenge, you know, go ahead. Like I said, I tried it, I didn't find it was worth it, and you know, I'm perfectly fine with playing this game longer than usual, but yeah, it's not worth it in my opinion. But anyway, we're killing these guys. A lot of the mission, yeah, I think we're gonna die here or something. A lot of the missions in this game are really simple. Yeah, again, watch out for those stabbing attacks. They get you. They can do like 400 damage sometimes. A lot of the missions in this game are just very simple and kind of monotonous. Like, I understand why people dislike the process, but I really think that it is worth it in the end based on the fact that you do get good rewards out of it. Like, if you just got garbage or upgrade materials, I would probably say skip it, aside from, you know, the need to get a trophy out of this. You know, there were no trophies in the original game because it was on PSP. But yeah, I would probably just say skip it, but you really do get good stuff. Especially if you're able to do some of the early stuff. Oh yeah, here, muscle belt. If you're able to do some of the early stuff, like at this point in the game, you can really break the game, and I love that. Let's go get ourselves a new new raise status. Yay. So again, like, this person used to be also a healer for you, which was really good between missions, but now it's just the raise status, but it's still really good. Yeah, Shinra Alpha is nice. Vitality is defense, so if you're starting to get destroyed, you should probably equip that like I did. I have the fire omelet on, which is really, it just raises your stats a bunch, but also halves fire damage, which you run into a lot, especially with some of the enemies that we're going to be seeing in these missions specifically. Stop the Intruders. Most of the Wutai remnants hiding in the slums have been suppressed, but group has slipped through Shinra's noose and is now headed for the Shinra building. Eliminate all Wutai fires in the city streets. I was about to go in, I'm like, whoops, I have to read these. Let's see. So, yeah, we got the barrier materia in a chest there. Not even from a reward, just the chest. A barrier is really nice because it gives you, it halves physical damage. M barrier would have magic damage. It's a really sneaky chest behind a door there. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it on because it just helps out a lot with these enemies who, you know, just start crowding around you. And it, again, when you're on hard over here, they have so much health. And, you know, I understand what it is. I'm going to complain about this a lot. I understand what it is. Like, it's meant to be a challenge. You know, you test your skills, and that's what that's what hard mode is. And I think that it's great for people that enjoy the strategy. But I am okay with things that are strategic and short. Information from several sources point to existence of Wutai remnants near Fort Condor, though we cannot confirm at this time. It seems entirely feasible. Go and investigate. I guess this is the Fort Condor area then. Yeah, I prefer like if something is strategic and short, not strategic and an hour long. This is one of the things that's keeping me from playing Final Fantasy 12, is that like some of the super bosses there are ridiculous. So this guy over here is where I decided I can't do anything, because as you can see, we're barely doing any damage, and he has that special that's pretty much an insta-kill for us at this point. We can't even get it down like a little bit, so yeah. Just wanted to show you that. That's where I stopped in my ending the war with Wutai. But now, sample monsters. Your battle with the summon made for valuable data. I have used this data to create a new battle sim. Be my guest and give it a try if you're up to it. But I warn you, though it's only simulation, the damage you receive will be very real. Yeah, this is our Hojo's missions, so we get to fight Ifrit here. This is actually the harder version of Ifrit. The Hojo missions are there's two Ifrits that we're going to be fighting here. This is a stronger one. I decided to do it first because it's next chronologically in the list. But we don't get the summon out of this guy. But it is a fun fight. I like fighting the summons in this game. Some of them are kind of cheap, but Ifrit over here is more or less predictable and very weak to ice. And that's that. We get fire materia out of it, surprisingly. I think he also dropped a wristband there. Let's see, so that's it for Hojo's lab. Zack Materia Hunter, starting out, rematch with Ifrit. As a result of analyzing the materia obtained in your fight with Ifrit, we have succeeded in trapping the creature. Chances are good that something about rare materia. So yeah, this gives you Ifrit as a summon, and it's also, as you can see, a lot easier than the last one. It's also like the arena that we fought him in, as opposed to Hojo recreating it. Anyway, we got the Ifrit materia, hooray! And now we have our first summon. Da 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 da. Is it gonna explain summons to us here? Yeah, summon mode. After acquiring summon materia, the DMW may sometimes enter summon mode. All real images will change into summon mode images, and if they match, a corresponding limit will happen. You have to press Raijincho. We have received information materia hidden in the nest of island dwelling Raijincho. Go to the island, obtain the materia. You have to press L3 and R3 in order to activate the summon, which is nice because you can summon the summons you really just don't want to use. Also, we got Hellfire immediately, which is great. I'm sorry that I sped through it, but we'll probably see it in a regular video, so I'll save like the cinematics for then. But we get a Thunder out of that. Hooray. I like that we got it immediately and also against enemies that were weak to it. It was good timing. So now we're gonna go over here. Closed coal mines. We have obtained information on monsters dwelling in closed coal mines. There's a possibility the mines were shut off with precious items still inside. Go and investigate. So these are gonna be pretty short missions over here also. These are definitely meant to be done fast. Phoenix Down. Phoenix Down gives you a raised status. It's very nice. You're going to want a lot of them later in the game. 5% of missions complete. Thunderblade. Yay. We got a Thunderblade materia. Which I think I switch it, right? Yeah. Let's see. Desert Island Delights. You have obtained information on monsters living in Desert Island. You may also be able to find some items there. Go and investigate. These missions are more or less just straight lines with a monster at the end and a accessory, which I'm okay with. Some of the missions are like, here's a challenge. Some of the missions are like, here's something to actually help you through the game. There's Hellfire again. And that's that. Chocobo omelet. I think that was it increase speed? Do we have speed? I don't remember. see. Scavenger Hunt. Monsters have appeared in the slums. You must eliminate the threats before any of the citizenry are hurt. We ask you also conduct a thorough investigation of the area. We get a jump materia out of this, which is important for getting the magic pot, I believe. I don't get the magic pot in this episode. I think I'm going to save that for like a actual episode, maybe. Once I get the requisite other materia, essentially for the magic pot, which I don't run into at all here, but the mail talks to you about it. It asks you to do like 4 things in a row, like specific things, and it's really weird, but if you do it, you get its summon, which is a pretty neat summon, but there's one later in the game that you have to do ridiculous things to get one of the best items in the game, but that's going to be like end game. Anyway, we get jump out of this, hooray. Might as well jump. Bum, bum, bum. Dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. I want to say this one wants like jump, blizzard, something else I don't remember. Depths of the Caverns. We have obtained information on monsters dwelling in the caves. You may also be able to find some items there. Please go and investigate. Yeah, this is, again, straight lines. So these worms are really annoying. They're really weak to ice, but they can stop you. We got 2 dark matters, nice. A lot of these items are for materia fusions and upgrading materia, which we'll get to, I think, in the next episode. Looking for items buried in the caverns. We obtain information of odd monsters dwelling in the caves. You may also be able to find some items there. Please go and investigate. The lunar harp also is another materia fusion item. Most of these are like items to give the materia better, like plus whatever stats. Fyra obtained. Yay. Okay, there's a Tonberry. So this guy's important to kill because it unlocks the Tonberry quests for us to get his eventual summon as well. As you can see, also he has an obscene amount of health. This original Tonberry doesn't move too much. When you use his kitchen knife, you kind of just want to dodge out of the way because it can do a ton of damage, or just stay far away. He'll use Karma, which can just hit you wherever you are. I'm still not sure what Karma is based on, like the damage output. I don't think it's monsters you've killed. I want to say it has something to do with your materia, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we got bombs over there that we killed before they exploded, but they can explode, so be careful. The Mandragoras can do a whole load of damage to you with hysteric voice and stop you and confuse you and just be general nuisances. So if you have 1, you can stun lock it, lunar harp. If you have 2, you should just use fire on them. Excuse me. And as you can see, we got 2 missions out of that. One is Mysteries of the World, which is the Tonberry thing. So items in the coal mine 2. We have obtained information on monsters dwelling in the coal mines. You may be able to find some items there. Go and investigate. But yeah, for the most part, materia fusion will probably be going over much later. You're gonna put fire on over here for the Fyra materia because these guys are really weak to it. Hero drink ×2, but it's a lot better in this game because you can actually see what's happening instead of just kind of hoping. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, Zack the treasure hunter. Monsters possess. Do I not want to do that? I guess not. Nope. Tonberry quests. Our president's personal chef has requested that we reclaim his prized knife of legend. Investigations revealed that Tonberry in the coal mines is currently in possession of the knife. Defeat the Tonberry and claim the cutlery. It's kind of silly, but it's also fun. There's 1 chest here. We're just gonna ignore these guys. Yeah, see, we got stopped over there. The Tonberries are, yeah, there's our chest over there, hiding there. The Tonberries are a lot easier. No, before I talk about that bridge over there, it's really hard to avoid the enemies on it. sometimes it just works and sometimes it doesn't. This Tonberry seems to be dying a lot faster than the other one though. But yeah, just avoid the knife attack and you'll be pretty good. Try to get behind it if you can, or just zap it with magic. So you can see he did a lot of damage there with kitchen knife. And then I realize here I can just kind of stun lock him, but that's it. Got a silver omelet. So no knife out of that though. We do unlock another mission. Tonberries everywhere. The kitchen knife possessed by the previous Tonberry was not the chef's legendary knife. We have new information about another Tonberry, the chef's precious cutlery. Hurry there and defeat the Tonberry. I have a feeling it's not going to be in this one either. I really like this specific stage because it's just, look at all the crystals and stuff. It looks so much cooler than the original. But yeah, there's 4 Tonberries here, which really isn't that much of a problem because they still just kind of waddle around. We just get to look at them though. Look at them. They're adorable and deadly. Yeah, I just kind of do whatever. You should focus on taking them out one at a time. The real thing that will hit you is karma, so be careful of that. I mean, you can kind of sometimes dodge it at just the right moment, but it's really difficult. Because it doesn't hit you, it hits exactly where you are, so if you like roll out of the way at the last second. It's a good thing I had Raise over here, because I got a little cocky there. But yeah, you just, I don't know, make sure you have ethers, I guess, just to attack them from afar. The nice thing about Fyra is that it, aside from it does a lot of damage, I think it hits twice, so like you can either hit 2 targets or hit the same target twice and do a nice amount of damage regardless. And this guy, yeah, again, I almost got ahead of myself there. Just take your time, really, though. Like, you're not in a rush. Set it down to normal. And I got Gisal greens there. Still no knife, though. And one more mission. 10-2-3. Master Tonberry. Despite the number of Tonberries in the last mission, not one held the chef's legendary knife. The latest news is most reliable yet. Master Tonberry in the caves in possession. Go defeat the Master Tonberry. There's a big map over here. 4 chests. Ooh. Yeah, I just love how, yeah, the regular enemies here are just regular Tonberries now. I just love how like this map specifically looks with the lighting and everything. It's just beautiful. And it looks so much better than the original version. I would hope so. I mean, the original version had some really nice areas, but it was still like a PSP game. It looked great, but it was still a PSP game. Like, there's only so much you can do on that. Misstyle is a okay accessory, but yeah, now we're gonna fight the Master Tonberry. You can tell he's a master because he has a star over his head. The big difference between this guy is that, aside from the fact that he has an obscene amount of health now, if you're too far away, when he uses kitchen knife, he will warp right behind you, so just roll out of the way because he will get right in position to kill you. Or don't stay in his face, alternatively. So yeah, just once again, take your time with this. This guy has a lot of health, but it's really easy to beat him if you just don't get impatient, because he has literally the same attack pattern the whole time. Rely on your DMW to, you know, give you neat it was, yeah, 40,000 health, 39,999 technically. Rely on the DMW to give you good like upgrades and stuff. You know, like no MP use and things like that. Or again, put it back down to normal mode. It's not a problem. Like it it doesn't make the game too easy. It might, I don't know, but I feel like it's just not like, you don't get anything out of it for beating it on hard. There's no like sense of satisfaction for sitting there for hours, in my opinion. Some people probably really enjoy it, and that's awesome. Like, I'm totally for that, but like, I just really hate damage sponges. There's death number 3 there. Again, like, I keep doing well, and then just getting ahead of myself. Also, at this point in the game, 40,000 health is a ridiculous amount for me to be fighting. I think this is where I equip, the bulletproof vest and the Shinra Alpha, so that I die immediately. Just to get a little bit of defense going so that I can maybe survive an attack. Excuse me. Yeah, this was definitely the hardest battle that I did here that I actually won. The Arachno that we fought earlier took longer, but it wasn't something I was able to win in, and that anti-Shinra weapon there just absolutely decimated me. But yeah, with all the time we've taken, what was this been, like 4 or 5 minutes over here? Yeah, about 4 minutes since we started this mission. This is sped up like 300 times, so yeah, it was just a lot of sitting around like waiting for this, and I just don't recommend it. Anyway, here I finally get MP cost 0 infinite, which is a really nice thing to get. And we got Tonberry's knife, hooray, finally. So in that mission, we got Tonberry added to the DMW. In that mission, there's an area where you can fight like a specific spawn point for the magic pot. Acquiring a chocobo feather or other special items, the DMW may enter chocobo mode. All real images will change into chocobo mode images. If they match, a corresponding limit break move will be added to your stock. However, there might sometimes be duds. Yeah, you remember the dud from Final Fantasy X-2? Yeah, you can get it here also. Let's do the Mako Stones. A spare Mako Stone has been detected in the slums of Sector 6. Mako Stones are invaluable as research material for Materia generation. Go and obtain a Mako Stone. This is the guy in the science department room. Like, these are his missions. They're really, really short and really easy, just because they're meant to be like really beginner level stuff. But anyway, here's our immediately get chocobo mode. I love the Tonberry summon so much. Yes, you have spare Mako updates. You have regular DMW, you have summon, and you have chocobo mode. The summon and chocobo mode are mutually exclusive. You either get one or the other. It doesn't like turn from one to the other. Vitality Mako Stone. You have to detect a reaction from Vitality Mako Stone in the suburbs of Mediel. You'll most likely encounter monsters in this area. Use caution as you make your way to the Mako Stone. You don't technically need to do these in order to complete the science mission, because if you do a lot of the other quests, you'll just get the Mako Stones anyway, but this is a guaranteed way to do it, so you may as well do it, and they're easy. Da, 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 da. See, next up. Magic. We have detected a reaction from a magic Mako Stone in Mount Corel. You'll most likely encounter monsters in the area. Use caution. Make your way to the Mako Stone. And again, these are just like super short, single line things, combating enemies that we'll be seeing in the near future. Mission accomplished. You detect a reaction from the HP Mako Stone in the plains. You'll most likely encounter monsters. Use caution. Make your way to the Mako Stone. So yeah, as we saw in from fighting the Arachno, which is technically the last thing I did for this recording, we make it to 10% of the missions already. So it goes quickly. You just really have you have to get to points where you actually find the missions sometimes. There are a lot of missable missions, so I'll be trying to get them as soon as possible in each instance. But the general cutoff point is going to be Chapter 8. Once Chapter 8 starts, you miss out on like everything. So just keep that in mind. We have detected a reaction from attack Mako Stone, the wasteland north of Cosmo Canyon. You'll most likely encounter monsters. Surprise. In episode 5, we'll complete these quests that we took care of. I think in episode 5 I'm also going to do the magic pot thing. I'll just make sure. These guys can be really annoying. Yeah, as you can see, they murdered me. Hooray. Just kill them immediately. Attack Mako Stone. But yeah, I'm probably gonna see if I can do the magic pot thing. I'm going to do the turn in the Mako Stone stuff. I'm gonna turn in the go back to the guy in Loveless Avenue, Luck Mako Stone in the Mithril Mines. So I think that's the rest of these aren't centric to a specific mission, like a specific side quest. I think they're just unlocked at this point of the game. Got Kira over there, I think, or something. These guys can be really annoying. Don't let them get you with their attacks. Did not get Libra leveled up. I did not get a thing out of that. Yeah, definitely Embrace like stops you and it brings you down to like 1 health. Pretty much just gets you death. But luckily we won, and we got a Luck Mako Stone, and that is going to be it for this episode. Yeah, I did pretty much everything I wanted to here, except for like the missions that are a bit too hard. So I take care of that, earlier in our video here. But yeah, once you do like a bunch of these other things, you could try to go back and do the ones that stopped you and see if you can suddenly beat them now that you're a few levels higher. It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference just getting a few levels out of it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.